Back to Breakfast Central. This morning, we're going to be looking at another conversation that focuses on African consumers and the broader African credit market. And joining us to have this conversation is Olufemi Olanipekun, the CEO and the co-founder of Vind. Now, Vind is a fintech company that's just announced their revolutionary credit and buy now, pay later solution called Vida. It is tailored for Nigerian consumers and the broader African credit market, like I did state earlier. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So maybe first of all, congratulations on this new announcement. Give us an idea, first of all, why it was important for you to start Vida.
Okay, so usually I do go out into the markets, and one day I witnessed a scenario where a storekeeper had to turn back a buyer simply because that customer asked for credit, wanted to buy products, and wanted to pay in installments. Now, that sale didn't happen simply because there was no stock in the shop. It happened because that seller didn't trust the buyer, right? And also, that seller could not verify the credibility of the buyer. So I thought, how could we solve this problem, right? We spent the last 4 years disbursing loans to more than 314,000 consumers in Nigeria, right? Partnering with banks, and we've built a decision engine that helps us do that in an automated way and hands-free way. So we thought, why don't we plug this into a system that allows people to buy products and pay later, both consumers and businesses. So we created Vida.
Absolutely amazing.
Let's just talk about, many people have the problem of just using all their disposable income to purchase some products, and consumers often want payment flexibility. Do you have any solutions to address this issue?
So that's one of the things we considered when developing Vida, right? One, the AI part allows people to understand how creditworthy they are. Now, looking through their bank statements and other alternative data sets, right? And then helping them know how much they can take. Now, without Vida, a consumer would have thought, I earn 100,000 every month. I should be able to take 100,000 loan from a bank. Takes that loan, realize that, I have to make repayments, and which means I'm not earning 100,000 every month. I have to go to another lender. It turns into a debt cycle, right? So what Vida does is helping you crunch the numbers, helping you check all your existing loan obligations, and ensuring that you are not over-leveraged. You don't take so much that you then fall into a debt cycle, something that you can't afford, right? So the AI helps with that. It gives the consumer insights on what they need to do. In some cases, when a consumer is not eligible for credit, can then recommend getting a co-signer, right? Getting a collateral, right? But that's the power of the AI in combination with our decision engine, right? Being able to educate the borrower even before they make those decisions. It's very important.
Very, very important, because what we see a number of times is there's been a surge of digital lenders.
Yeah.
And, people are borrowing, people are earning to pay their debt. We're hearing of interest as high as 25 to 40% annually. They're publishing, I don't know, you probably have gotten a message to say, so-and-so person is owing us and has refused to pay us. And this ends up building a cycle of mental health challenges with people who are feeling ashamed and overwhelmed by the challenges. So talk to us about what the current landscape is, what the current reality is in terms of borrowing, people getting access to credit financing.
Yeah, so in terms of getting access to credit, right, credit penetration is still very, very low. And financial institutions are very, very careful when giving out credit. So now there are two sets of customers in the industry now. The low-risk customers, the high-risk customers. Now, the banks and everybody else, they're serving the low-risk customers. Now, they define low-risk customers as customers who you can find their record on the credit bureau, who is gainfully employed, right? Usually this falls within the SMEs and also the employed, right? The formerly employed, right? Where you can get salary history. In some cases, you can take stock of what's in the shop, right? Now, with this set of people, the banks then look at their credit history. Majority of people in Africa don't have a credit history, right? Compared to 79% of people in Latin America that have their credit history on the credit bureau, right? Less than 11%, right, of Africans has their data on the credit bureau, which makes it very, very hard for banks to serve them because it's part of the regulation. You have to check the credit bureau. Now, if somebody is a thin file, does not have enough data, that means that customer has one option: high interest lenders or fully collateralized loans, right? So what we are trying to do is create a platform that, on the other side, while we educate the consumers, we are also able to educate the banks. This is the customer you're serving. This is the credit profile. This customer has a consistent income. This customer does not exist on any credit bureau, but you can take repayments from Bank A, Bank B, Bank C, right?
Fantastic.
Ensuring that collection is now reliable.
So that sort of safeguards the interest of, you know, the banks
lender.
or the
Yes.
lender. Okay, so now this sounds very good on paper, the practicality of it, the vision for it. Where do you see this going? How do you hope to use this to solve problems of financial inclusion for the underserved?
Yeah.
And, you know, how do you hope to spread this to other parts of the
How do
continent?
people sign up? Yeah.
So today, people can sign up at mycreditprofile.me. It's a very, very easy process, and instantly they can get a credit profile. Now, for banks, they can sign up on axvida.ai, right? So that is the page where they can then assess the credit worthiness of borrowers. Now, for us, our vision is credit is a basic necessity that everybody needs access to, right? Whether we like it or not, right? So there was a time I went to London. I think that was June last year, and I tried to book an hotel. They asked me for a credit card, but in Nigeria, a credit card is not a thing.
It isn't.
Right? So I tried my debit card, it failed. I had to pay cash. I had to look for pounds to pay, right? Now, imagine you as a Nigerian, you pay your house rent every month. Every annually. Now, imagine you can pay monthly, simply because your landlord knows that, oh, this person is creditworthy. This
I mean, I
person
should be
will
able to
always
want to
pay.
buy a new car and
Exactly.
not have to labor extremely to be able to get
Exactly.
that.
If you are a taxi driver, you should be able to buy fuel, right, and pay at the end of the day.
Right. Okay, so, I mean, there's more to this. How can people get information? Is there a website you want to share?
Yes, www.mycreditprofile.me.
All right.
Right, and then for lenders, that's banks, financial institutions, axvida.ai.
Is it an app?
It's a website.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
you
for
very
joining
much.
us this morning, and we look forward to, you know, seeing the developments and the improvements that this will bring in terms of credit accessibility
And financial
availability,
inclusion also.
financial inclusion. I think these are important conversations to have. Just
Yes.
last night, I was researching a car that I really liked, and I said, well, you know, my current situation and this car, they are not really matching. But with situations and solutions like
Yes,
this,
they will use AI to
track.
track your credit worthiness.
And see that I'm
you
not on any
exactly,
basis.
and then and next week you roll into Wemco Road with a Jeep.
And you know, right? Thank you so much for joining
All
us.
right,
and
thank
all
you
the
very
best.
much.
Thank you.
All right, now let's bring you the newspapers and to share with you what the front pages are saying. Stay with us.